My name is Oswald Ndoda. With me here is Pomono. Let us greet him. Right, before we go into today's lesson, let's begin by sanitizing our hands like that, inside and outside, and then in between our fingers. We stretch out our hands to maintain the social distance, and always we should have our masks on. Right, today's lesson is going to be on diminutive nouns. Right, boys and girls. Remember, we looked at common nouns. We also looked at abstract nouns, proper nouns. Now, we want to move on with these nouns. Like I said, today's lesson will be on diminutive nouns. Diminutive, let's pronounce that word properly. Right, what are diminutive nouns? Diminutives are words that refer to something smaller or younger. This is on page 3. It's on page 3 of your booklet. Right, diminutive nouns are words that refer to something smaller or something which is younger. Remember about young ones of different animals, and then we have also small things. For instance, a river, Okavango River, a small Okavango is called a rivulet. And then a young one of a dog is a puppy, and then we also have a young one of a cat is a kitten. Right, diminutives are made by adding a suffix, et, let, ling, ock, ette, and kin to the root word. Now, we are saying these suffixes are added to root words, e.g., a root word like eagle, if you add let, it becomes eaglet. So eaglet is the young one of an eagle. You have owl, a young one of an owl becomes an owlet. Duck, duckling, bull, bullock. Kitchen, kitchenette. Hill, hillock. Diminutives can also be a special word for something younger or smaller. E.g., tree, we call it a sapling. A small tree is called a sapling. Right, let's proceed. Below there on the same page, we have a list of diminutives to refer to. We want to use this as our dictionary as we do our activities. Each time we will be turning to page 3 and look for the answers. There are quite a number of nouns and their diminutives. For instance, there's beer, cup, goose, gooseling, and then we also have the last ones, which is goat, kid, stallion, colt, crown, coronet, etc. Let's turn to page 4. Right, on page 4, diminutive words with the suffix et and the suffix let, let. An example there for novel is novelette. Kitchen, kitchenette. Towel, towelette. Cigar, cigarette. And then on the other side, we have pig, piglet, book, booklet, leaf, leaflet. And lastly, droplet. Right, boys and girls, let us turn to page 4 of our booklet. We want to look at activities. Number 1, select the correct word from the box to complete the sentences. Now the words in the box read as cynet, eaglet, fawn, sapling, streamlet, kid, lamp, calf, erslet, duckling, cub, foal, rivulet, and gosling. Now, what you simply need to do is to choose a word that will complete the given phrases there. For example, a young duck is a duckling. A young goat is a kid. So you proceed from C up to N, writing the correct diminutive for each. And then activity 2 on the same page, it says, add the correct suffix to make the diminutive, explain the meaning of each diminutive. For instance, we have hill. Do we say hillock or hillet? The answer should be hillock. That's a small hill. Then book. Do we say bookling or booklet? The answer should be booklet, meaning a small book. So you continue with the remaining activities. Now, activity 3, that is on page 5. Let's turn to page 5. Activity 3, it says, read this passage. And obviously, at the end of the passage, there are some questions to be answered. Now, let me read for you the passage first. While bending down to drink water from a rivulet one day, a fox and a cub fell in. Try as they would, they could not climb out because the walls of the rivulet were too high. All the tadpoles and fry along the bank were shocked at the arrival of the new inhabitants and swam away. Not long afterwards, a goat and her kid came along. Behind them were 2 lambs and a piglet, rushing to get the first sip of water. Seeing the fox and its cub in the water, the goat asked them why they were in the water. We are enjoying the cool, pure water, replied the fox. Would you like to jump in and taste it? Without stopping to think, the foolish goat jumped in, followed by the others. No sooner had he reached the bottom than the cunning old fox leaped onto his back and scrambled onto the bank with her cub in her mouth. Looking down at the unhappy goat, the fox laughed and said, "Next time, friend, be sure to look before you leap." Sadly, the goat, the kid, 2 lambs, and the piglet drowned. First to notice the free meal was an elver. followed by tadpoles, fry, and terrapin hatchlings. They all had a good meal. Right, boys and girls, that's how we should read. Then we turn to page 6 of the booklet, where we have the questions. You answer those questions from A to D. For instance, the first one would tell you, underline the diminutive nouns in the text. So if you go back to the passage on page 5, as you read through, you would see quite a number of diminutives in there. Then you underline. Yours is simply to underline the diminutives. And then B says, write these words in the diminutive noun column below. Use each diminutive only once. Right, so I would like you to do that exercise. And before that, okay, that's fine. Right, welcome back, boys and girls. Let's go to page 6 of our booklet. It says, activity 4 says, complete the following using diminutives. A small hill is called a hillock. A condensed book is called a booklet. Now, C to G, you can complete that on your own. Let's quickly move on to activity 5, which says, use the diminutive suffixes to form diminutive nouns. The diminutive suffix E-T-T-E, and then gives us, from the noun statue, we have statuette. So we can do the rest on our own. Let's quickly turn to page 7, activity 6. Draw a line from the diminutive to the correct definition of it. On your left hand, we have diminutives, and on your right hand, you have the definitions. So I begin with A. Definition A says, a small river, a very small river. You go to your left side. If you look at number 12, it says rivulet. A very small river is a rivulet. So you join a very small river and rivulet. That's A and 12. Also, a young goose, that's on B. A young goose becomes a gooseling. So you join number 1 and B. Now, let us do the rest on our own. But before that, let's proceed to activity 7, which reads, change the underlined words to diminutives and rewrite the sentences. The lady found the dog in a river and took it home to dry off in her kitchen. The underlined diminutive nouns there are dog, river, and kitchen. So, if we are to rewrite that, the sentence would read as follows. The lady found the puppy in a rivulet and took it home to dry off in her kitchenette. So, we can move on to B and do the rest. Now, on page 8 of our booklet, there is a crossword puzzle there. There is a crossword puzzle where we have a word being on our right bottom or bottom right. There is a list of words there which are diminutives, And then on our right, where it says across and down, those are the nouns where we should write the diminutives. For example, number 1, going downwards, it says pig. So you go to number 1, you find the diminutive of a pig, the young one of a pig. That should be a piglet. So if you write from number 1 going downwards, piglet should fit in those boxes. Across, that's number 2, we have goat. Now, the diminutive or the young one of a goat is a kid. Those are 3 letters. They should also fit across there. So you continue from number 1, 2, up to the last one, which is number 20, writing the diminutives. Right, boys and girls. Thank you very much for listening. We have come a long way doing these nouns. Like I said, we did proper nouns, we did abstract nouns. Today we're looking at diminutives. Please, let's not forget them. Right, but before I go, always remember to sanitize. You squeeze your hands inside like that, outside in between the fingers. Stretch out at least to ensure a meter apart, and then you put on your mask. Thank you very much, boys and girls. We will meet in the next lesson. Bye-bye.
What is social distancing? Hi everyone, I am Zoshi, and I'm back. It literally just means that you need to stay home all the time and keep away from crowded places. And remember to keep your distance from your friends too. Everybody stay safe. Yay! Till next time. Bye!
Black sunrise, always gonna be a surprise, 'cause we don't know the way it's going to go, 'cause we can see the way it's going to be, 'cause we can see.
Ay, ay, ay.
We're talking about COVID. Baba G, tell us about the day you found out you had COVID.
The day I found out I have COVID, just a difficult day. I didn't understand how I got COVID, because I was always covered, I was always with my hand sanitizer. It came with my wife. And that whole day, I was thinking, what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna survive. My kids, I was losing my tasting, smelling. There were some days I will test my taste buds. and put like 4 or 5 chilies in my coffee. No ways. I didn't taste it.
So did you also lose your appetite in the process?
It was very funny. In the first week, no, I was chowing. Like I will wake up like midnight and make for me something. But after the first week, then the appetite was gone. When you go to bed, your body is also automatically switching off. And that's a dangerous time for COVID. It's like glass pinching you, cutting you inside your lungs. Then the heart was pumping like rubber pumps. You are losing a lot of fluids at night.
Is that through fever or what?
Yeah, it's through fever.
So have you experienced any side effects from having contracted COVID-19?
No, not yet. Maybe still coming, but not yet.
And your wife?
She was complaining about light head. It's an annoying headache. It's light, but it's annoying.
So basically you didn't take any prescribed medicine from the doctor to recover from COVID?
No, I didn't. The only thing I was using is desperate for my blood not to clot. Because for some people, when your lungs are really, really infected, your blood will start to clot from the lungs, close all the airways. That's where we are passing. I'm smoking cigarette, and when you were a smoker and COVID in your lungs now.
So then after you both found out you had COVID, what did you guys do to protect the kids?
The kids move out from the house. The Buddhists will come, then we'll collect everything for them and just put for them outside. When they came, just grab the food and go.
So what was the biggest battle for you? Was it mental or physical?
Mentally. Mentally was the biggest battle. I'm actually an international movie maker, and my career was cut off. I couldn't put bread on the table. There were some days we have one meal for the day, then went to bed. And that was hitting me in my mind. What if Blessing get corona now? Where am I gonna go? Who can I help? There were also some people depend on us in the rural areas. We couldn't help them. My future was black, dark, dark, dark. I couldn't even see that small light at the end of the tunnel. One day, my daughter decided, now I want to see my father today. And I just told her, yeah, she can come. The first words was, Daddy, I was praying for you yesterday night. Don't worry, corona will go back soon. And I was asking, from where? From Namibia? She said, no, not from Namibia, from you. And you are not looking good. And she was actually heartbroken. Until today, she hates corona. From there, then I was like, oh, okay. If the smallest one is saying this, why am I not picking me up self and do the right thing and get rid of this thing? That's where I started to run, to practice, coming to my quiet place. And actually, the main thing that broke my heart during that time was there was no one. The time of COVID, there was no one.
So can you tell us where we are right now?
We are at my silent place. I call this place my silent place. I will come here when the COVID is hitting me like 120%. Looking at the ocean, then you will hear voices like, no, you don't belong here. Today, you don't belong here. Get up and go home. Some days, they will nurse you like, no, you will survive. Your future is a bright future. You must not give up now. Think about your kids. Think about the people around you. Even the wind will do that. Actually, you must meditate The thing of COVID is, looks like COVID is afraid of the warmness and is friends with the coldness. So the whole time you are baking in the sun, it helps a lot.
So is that what you did?
Yeah, I did. I will do that twice a day. This was supposed to be a golden year for me, a very, very good golden year for me, but then COVID decided now, this is not going to be your golden year. Everything was cancelled. We, the filmmakers, this year, from the international shoots, lost lot of money.
You've lost 3 family members? Is it all due to COVID?
No, not all due to COVID. First one, my sister. She was very close to me. She contracted COVID April, and she was in ICU for 3 months. The COVID damaged her lungs, and at the stage her lungs collapsed and she couldn't breathe without the machines. Her kidneys failed, her liver has failed. COVID is real. First of all, COVID is real. It's not a joke. Most of the people, they fall away from COVID regulations. Still early to fall away from COVID regulations. We must still go in line with those COVID regulations.
And how long did you say it took you to recover?
3 weeks, 21 days.
What must somebody do to change your mind from that negative perspective to that positive?
COVID, no job, it's very dangerous. There was one day I just decided I'm gonna take a rope, go to the jetty, sit around there, and after all I will hang there by the jetty. The time I arrived here, there was no wind. Out of nowhere, the ocean was like angry, and it started to get cold. And I was like, but it was just nice weather. Then I sat down. Then the universe will talk with you, the wind, the sun, the ocean. That's the main thing of COVID. If you don't save yourself, no one will save you. And we must always appreciate what we have around us. That's the main thing in COVID. If you don't appreciate what you have around you, no, you will lose your head.
Smile, smile, smile. When you walk with me, I just want you to smile, smile.
My industry and what I've done with my hands in Namibia, it's going all over the world, and here you are, Papa G, you want to quit? Now, I'm excited for 2021. It's not gonna be the same like 2020 now. I'm back in the groove.
Give me food, clothes, water, and shelter. Nothing else, no matter. You're my moonlight in my heaven. Let all my sins be forgiven. Happiness rain on me. Never let the children cry. Smile for me, Namibia. Smile for